Hi, I'm Steph from Soccer Go Goals and welcome to the Career Series. Today I have with me Lucy from Passion FC. Thanks for joining us in our Career Series.
And thank you for hosting me, having me on the series too.
Okay, so to give a bit more context, the Career Series will cover various players who are either playing professionally or are able to find time outside of their careers to pursue football, or those who have followed their passion in football to join the industry itself. We hope to show women footballers that having passion in football can provide you with opportunities in your career as well. So I shan't hog the mic any longer. Let's start with the first segment where we find out more about how Lucy started playing football. So Lucy, maybe you can tell us a little bit about yourself first. Like, what are you doing now?
Okay, so hi everyone, my name is Lucy and currently I'm the managing director of APAC at Passion FC, but I'm also a student. So I graduated from New York University last year with a bachelor degree of sports management. And currently I'm a graduate student also at NYU studying public relations and corporate communication. So Passion FC, just in short, is a movement. It's actually a 501c3 nonprofit registered in New York. It's an educational platform that seeks to bring people together through the power of football. We share in-depth stories, we do events, campaigns, aiming to address social issues from the lenses of football and bring the opposite view together by erasing bias and sharing the same passion.
All right, so like maybe we can dive into like how you got started to play football.
Yes, so I started I started pretty late. I started in 2013 when I was 14 years old. When I first came to the US for high school, I joined the school team the first year. And before I have always been interested. Before I came from China, by the way. So before I played handball around ironically. And then around about fifth grade, that was 2010 South Africa World Cup. My coach loved football, and then we sometimes play casually instead of conditioning, like boring running and conditioning training. So that's where I got really interested into it, but I haven't started playing in a team setting, in a like more so like an organized training setting until I came to the US for high school.
Okay, so what do you love about football?
So I think there's two aspects of it. First, I just love the game itself. It's just fun to play. I love the physicality, the competitiveness into it, and it also requires a lot of teamwork because 11 people play together. But I mean, even though there's like less people version, like 5 versus 5, 8 versus 8, but still, it's a very it requires a lot of teamwork in order to succeed. And then at a deeper level, I think it's such an international sport that allows me to meet many different new friends right away when I go to somewhere new. Like I fit in right away when I first came to the US, and then when I came to New York for college, I find friends play together, and then now we still are friends. And then when I first went to Spain, I joined a local team. So and then me and my coaches, my teammates, we are still in touch. So it just once you play together, you feel like you automatically are friends with them, and then it's such a special connection that common passion. It's a very strong tie. So I love using football to meet different people and also learn different cultures through it.
Wow, that's really amazing. Like just having football as the connection, like no matter where you go, like you always fit in because,
Yes,
that common passion you guys have.
yes.
Okay, so like what were some of the challenges you faced in your football journey?
Yeah, so actually I think compared to a lot of other friends, I'm quite fortunate because I don't have any difficulties as a female. And then the environment in China, even like because female is quite rare, so people actually like to play with me it's just out of curiosity, that kind of thing, and they actually respect me just based on my own experiences. And in the US, needless to say, I think the most difficult time is when I first went to Spain. It's a completely new environment at the time. Of language skill is not that good yet. I couldn't really communicate. I knew the basic things, so I got a chance to try out at a local team. and it's a pretty competitive team. But the thing is, the coach and the team captain, they weren't that friendly. I always think they are pretty racist.
Oh,
So they
okay.
didn't talk to me, and they didn't like just treat me that well. And then I feel like the captain just, when we were playing games together, the first day, she kind of intentionally tripped me or just treat me very aggressively. So I got really badly injured because I fell on the turf, and then my knee was bleeding. It was quite tough. And then it just really made me, I don't want to go back to the team the next day to finish my tryouts. But I had to kind of push through it because it just reminded me of my purpose of the reason why I chose Spain, because I really want to understand how does the cultural aspect work in terms of football, and how I really want to interact with Spanish locals, and then I want to just to further learn why football is such a successful sport in Spain. So I kind of have to push through that, and it was very tough for me. And then fortunately, so I pushed through the first week, and then obviously I didn't make the teams, but there was another very friendly player. She introduced me to another team, turned out to be very friendly. Turned out I stayed for the 4 months with them. It was very international. There were players from Argentina, there are players from Morocco, France, and coaches, even though their language skill is not, English language is not that great, but they still try to communicate with me. It's actually a very embracing and friendly team. So by no means I'm saying like Spain, it's more racist, but it just turned out my first team was pretty like racist. So
Right.
that was very hard for me, especially I first went to Spain and then I experienced that. It was very hard.
But it sounds amazing that you actually managed to push through.
Yeah, but language is definitely hard sometimes. It took me like a couple minutes to understand what the coach are saying, but I would say like under that kind of language environment, you actually learn a lot faster.
So what are some common Spanish football terms?
I actually, to be honest, in my team, like we swear a lot. It's quite interesting, but we swear a lot. Definitely swearing is a more common thing to say.
Right. Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
I won't say it here. Yeah.
Stay tuned for our second segment, Career in Football.